Hey guys, girls, everyone. I want to wanted to make a companion video for how to set up mentorship at hackathons. So here I'll very quickly go through the article and kind of offer a few comments on the way. So first of all, I've participated in a number of hackathons, and I mean, some good, some bad, both as a mentor and as a participant. And so the reason I'm making this is because I feel strongly that usually it is not organized in a way that brings as much value as it could. The hackathon can be only as good as two components. It's the people and the process, right? So it is whom do you attract, which is also kind of related to how do you set up the process of a hackathon. So when setting up mentorship, I think it's really important to consider that that is a major draw for why people participate, right? So the goal of a mentorship, the goal of mentorship is to really bridge the gap between people who are attending and the knowledge. So I'll start with the rationale. So why do people go to hackathons, right? To meet interesting people, to enjoy the process, and to work through an idea. Right? Those are the primary drivers. So these are your primary reason, like primary vectors, which you should try to optimize. What have I seen at hackathons is this, right? You have a whole bunch of people who are floating around, and they're not really contributing in a timely manner. So time, which is already super scarce, is being wasted for the participants and for the mentors. So what ends up happening is the participants don't leverage the mentors, and the mentors, the ones who can bring a lot of value, tend to not attend. They come in the beginning, they watch, they get bored, they leave, and then kind of it's the mentorship aspect. I haven't seen it implemented robustly. So here the question is, which mentors do you need and at what point? So first of all, during the ideation stage, they should be able to confirm the pain, the solution, the assumptions, right? If someone says, I want to build a device, well, the question is, does the device in theory make sense? Or I want to build this website that connects, patients to service providers. Then the question is, do patients actually want it, right? So you want to be able to find a patient that will validate this. Then you have the build process. The build has two components. There's the product, and then there is the business, right? So for product build, it's what tools are relevant, right? Like how do you use the right API? Where do you get the right data set? How do you access this stuff, and how do you use it? And then there's the actual process of building, right? It's really frustrating as a coder to be using something for the first time. And it's so helpful to have someone who knows how to use it to guide you and kind of help you jump the hurdles that would take you 2 to 3 hours to jump because you've missed something simple in the documentation, right? So like my hat off to the Jibo team, for example, at one of the hacking medicine hackathons, where I was trying to turn Jibo into a bit of a jerk who would abuse you as you're doing a workout, kind of like if any one of you played Portal, to kind of turn Jibo in, to give him that type of an attitude. And the Jibo team was like, okay, cool, you're having trouble. Here's where you're messing up. And it was amazing. For the business build, you really need to confirm deny assumptions, right? And you need deep knowledge of a domain. So for example, I am one of the founders of the scientific journal called Jove. I'm the founder of a surgical video journal. I understand how much this stuff costs. I understand the distribution model. I understand the production process. I understand all these things so when I saw at one of the hackathons a list of what people were doing, I flagged the teams that are going to benefit from this knowledge. And there was one team in particular that I remember. I approached them and they were incredibly happy that I did, because I all of a sudden gave them all this knowledge that would certainly, it took me years to accumulate, and they didn't have access to it. And then you have the issue of continuity. If I see a project that I think has potential, I can connect them to the right people. I'm not going to discuss this much. So there is, I think, the main thing that people miss when building mentorship infrastructure is they think that you invite mentors and they float around and this is how you do mentorship. No, that does not work, in my opinion. I mean, it can, but it's really inefficient. What you want is you want to think of mentors in two stages, right? So you have your knowledge mentors, people who are really good at what they do and they're really valuable and you want to bring them at the right time and they're not going to hang out for half a day, let alone for 2 days for the hackathon, right? And then you have these network mentors or Sherpas, as I call them. These are people who understand what the teams need. They should have broad knowledge themselves, so they should be able to offer kind of a nudge people in the right direction. But they're the ones who can pull in the right domain expert and be like, hey, talk to this chief medical officer, talk to this engineer, talk to this prototyping shop, right? Talk to this investor who has invested in the similar ventures, right? That it could bring so much value. And here we get to the last bit where it's like, okay, you have the push and the pull model, right? So either the Sherpas push knowledge or the team's pull knowledge, right? Either way, the Sherpa as a conduit can dramatically increase efficiency of getting the right person at the right time. I would say that generally it's good to also have a database that's easy to search, right? So getting to the kind of the how to set up the program, right? So before the hackathon, understand what knowledge mentors you want to have, and then prime them. So the role of Sherpas should be to invite and prime them and be like, listen, please make yourself available from Friday to Sunday on like between the hours of X and Y. And how should I reach you? Should it be by phone? Should it be by text? Should it be by Facebook Messenger? Whatever, right? Then at the hackathon, make it easy to understand what people need and for them to search the database, right? So if you do have a database, if you don't have a database, then so if you have a team-driven approach, please don't expect your participants to read the profile of every mentor. That is incredibly labor intensive. They will read a few and then they will just not do it. If you are taking that approach, have the Sherpas look through the profiles and then they can make the connections when such makes sense. Or better yet, have Sherpas monitor and understand what the teams need and be like, hey, could you benefit from, one of the lead developers at Facebook? Oh, great, I have a connection. Let me make an introduction, right? So once the mentor is identified, and they can be already in network, they may be primed, or they may be part of a Sherpa's personal network, right? Then the Sherpa can try to navigate their network to reach out to them and kind of get a hold of them, right? So this is really simple. I have not seen this done well yet, but I would recommend that if you're organizing a hackathon and you're looking to have a robust mentorship infrastructure, that you do invest your time into your mentors, which also becomes a huge marketing draw, right? Not only will it help you with your actual hackathon, but it will help you recruit good talent, and that in turn will feed the beast. So that's it. Good luck.